Was ist das hier? Du sagst? Yeah. That ain't no cheese, folks. It may look like some shredded cheese or butter. Butter. Aber this right here is a Felsnapta type of soap. Really good at lifting stains and whatnot. We got a little bit of this here, Dr. Bronner's. I'm going to use this instead of the bar soap. I don't want to have to grate a bunch of soap. Wir haben borax, 20 mule team. 20 of them babies, boy. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we got a little bit of this Arm & Hammer washing soda. Not baking soda. Not washing detergent, washing soda or whatever. I'm going to make me some homemade laundry detergent, man. It's supposed to be better than Tide, folks. I think adding this little... I didn't need to add this Fels, but I'm going to anyway. For that extra stain lifting. Now, I graded this up because I'm going to mix, say, about 4 cups of water in here. Just to get it real hot and mix this in so this becomes a nice liquid form of this. And I'll mix 1 cup of this, 1 cup of this, 1 cup of this into my little 5-gallon bucket I got. Get the lid off. My nice brand new little 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to make like 5 gallons worth of laundry detergent. Hell yeah. Then I'll mix these nice and steady to some nice, like about 2.5 gallons worth of warm water in this bucket. And then I'll just put some cold water to top it off, mixing it up real nice. And boom, boom, bam. You let that sit overnight. You're supposed to have some good laundry detergent. I'm going to give it a try. Hell. Because, you know, Tide and stuff, that stuff is kind of expensive. I mean, it's good. Actually, I prefer a Henkel brand. Like, you know, some good old, what was their original one? Henkel product out of Germany. My God, I can't remember. Hell, I'm distant related to them too. My God, man, my brain is going on some dumb stuff. Anyway, I know they own Purex, but their original brand. I had to go look in my laundry room, folks. Persil. Yeah, Persil. Some say Persil. 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 Something like that. They wouldn't say Persil. You know what I'm saying? It'd be Persil. Or the good old Purex. Both Henkel products. Damn good company. Damn good company. Henkel. Can't say enough about Henkel. Just don't look too much into them. You feel me? You don't need to look too much. You guys don't need to be all up in people's business. All right, I'm going to get this here project started. So I'll be back with this stuff, you know, dissolving into the water. Fun little fact. Henkel bought this company for a while and owned it until they sold it to the Summit Company. Yeah. So they own this too. All right, guys. It wouldn't have all these suds, but when I first was mixing the water in at the sink, I wasn't thinking, and I had it on spray, thinking, oh, I'm going to mix that up. Oh, I'm going to break it down early. And it really sudsed up. Now it's finally, the suds are subsiding so I can see how dissolved it is. Let me see if I can get that to clear up for you. So you can see the little shavings floating around. They're dissolved quite well. Once it's fully dissolved, I'll get that nice hot water into about 2.5 gallons worth into the bucket, or at least 2 gallons worth of hot water in the bucket from the tap. I'll mix this in, then I'll stir in that borax and that cleaning soda. Oh yeah, and the Dr. Bronner's Natural Castile style soap. And I think that peppermint will mix well with that scent that's in this naphtha bar here. There's not even naphtha in that soap anymore, but anyway, they kept the name. That Feldspar, Fels naphtha. Fels was the last name of the family that originally started it. You guys think, man, why you know so much about soap? I don't know, shit. I read up on it. You feel me? I like to research, try to know about stuff. I just came up with the bright idea of why not mixing this liquid soap in with that naphtha soap right now, huh? So we'll get that mixed in together right now. I can see how it'll smell. Plus it'll be already mixed. One less thing to do. Pour in the bucket. Well, I've got them mixed together. And my initial analysis of the fragrance is not a bad smell, but kind of a weird smell. That peppermint and that other like clean, fresh scent, I don't know, they blended into a kind of weirdness. I'm gonna have to take another sample. Hold on. I don't know, it's kind of real pepperminty. I do have some essential oils. Let me go look in my drawer and see if I find anything that'll blend well with these. Maybe I should chill and see what the other stuff adds to the mix. Then we'll go from there before we top it off fully. But as you see, hell, we're almost fully, we almost have it all fully dissolved. There's still a couple flakes in there. I'll get this stuff fully dissolved and we'll move on to the next step, folks. Yeah, with the way this country's going, shit, we all gonna be making our own damn soap and all kinds of other little home remedies and concoctions and DIY projects. Why not mix this other stuff up while I'm at it too? We'll get it all dissolved in there if we can, and then put it to the big bucket of warm water, then top it off with cool water. And here's the Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda. Yeah, buddy. Let's get that in there. Already put the borax in. I'll stir this stuff and get it dissolved. Best I can, you feel? Yeah. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit to show you how this went. Oh, it's coming together, huh? Yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. Look at that. By letting it sit overnight, you know, in the big bucket, once it's all mixed up with the proper proportions, it's supposed to thicken up into that gel you're used to in your liquid laundry detergents. There are people who make their own like dry laundry powder where you only use like a tablespoon or something. But I figure why not just make me a big bucket of it and see how it goes. Do me a load of laundry tomorrow, see how it is. See how it cleans and see how it smells. It's supposed to be better than like the stuff you buy at the store, really. We'll see. Alright, folks. Let's get that half a bucket of hot water going. Got my, oh yeah, this is a walnut stick. Made out of walnut. Little stick I was carving on, little walking stick. Hit somebody upside the head stick if they want to mess with you when you're taking a walk. I'm just talking crap. I have no need for any of that kind of stuff in my life. Alright, that's a little more than half a bucket, but water's water, right? The shit in the pot's hot. This is not as hot, but hot. Let's go see what we got. Looks like this is, you know, at least dissolved enough to get into the big bucket and do some more stirring. Let's see. Try to give you guys some action without dropping my phone or ruining something. You know I'm good at that. Alright, I'm over the bucket. No action, folks. Yeah. Alright. Looky there, looky there. Hey. Yeah. Hey, I need to wash my pot. Get this thing cleaned off. If you guys don't want to watch a bunch of this, well, hell, you get entertainment listening to me talk dumb stuff. Hey, man. Oh, yeah, it's supposed to thicken up overnight. I was going to say, this stuff is kind of thin. Feeling a little thin. Maybe I should have grated up the bar instead of used the liquid, but that's only 1 cup. Yeah, this stuff is supposed to thicken up overnight. Especially this is water, it's hot. Yeah, it's actually quite hot. Good. Alright, time for the walnut. That walnut stick. Got that walnut stick. Hit him with that walnut. Yeah, what you know about that walnut? Them chestnuts. Yeah, some people like them chin nuts. Not me, though. Holy crap, folks. I just want to let you know, this stuff definitely going to work like a charm. Probably better than any soap I ever used. This homemade stuff with all that borax and washing soda and that Nepta soap. With that natural Castile soap for the, you know, the wetting agent or suds or whatever the hell you call it. I forgot. The shit that makes it suds up and all that crap. Anyway, I reached in there and felt the bottom to make sure there weren't any grains of undissolved stuff. And, you know, after I rinsed it off my hands are so damn squeaky clean. I mean, they just feel totally stripped clean. And then the little lid and stuff it touched. I mean, man, I haven't felt stuff this clean in years, boy. My hands ain't been this clean in a long time. Just from some soap. Just a natural fully clean. You know, not that little moisturized residue or whatever you feel from the other soaps. Yeah, it feels a nice clean. And it doesn't feel like stripped or like it'll be irritated either. I don't know. I'm not saying to wash your ass with it. I'm just saying this is gonna work good, obviously. Cause you know I've got laundry detergent on my hands before and rinsed it off. It never felt that clean. Look at me tweaking like I'm about to be trying to sell George Jefferson some laundry detergent. Get a hold of old George, try to make that big sale. We'll be supplying all the cleaners in Harlem, by golly. That boy is crazy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right. Now it's time to just trickle in that cold water. I'm trickling it in like that. That way I don't make a whole bunch of suds and stuff and have to wait for them to go down. And I'll keep stirring while it's trickling. And once it gets close to the top, I'll just put the lid on the bucket and we'll let it sit overnight. And then tomorrow I'll do a little update. And you guys that are interested, you can see what the texture is. Before we put the lid on tonight, we'll look at the consistency or thickness of this here fluid solution. And boom, boom, bam. Tomorrow we'll compare it and we'll see what it really looks like. Alright, folks. Nicht schlecht, huh? Not bad. Pretty good. It already feels a little thicker, but you see it's quite runny. Hey boy. Trying to see where I'm filming. You see it's pretty. Real thin. We'll see how thick it is in the morning or when I decide to mess with it again. For now, get that lid on. Put a lid on it. And that'll be that. Like I said, put a lid on it. Yeah, I went and found the receipt, folks. For all my local friends familiar with Menards, I got the borax and the Arm & Hammer washing soda there. Because I was there to pick up some other stuff, and instead of going to Walmart, I'm like, dang, they got both of these right here in the laundry section. Boom, boom, bam. Grabbed them. They was cheap. Plus, they're the ones that had that naphtha soap. So let's see what we're talking about here. My eyes are messed up. Oh yeah, I grabbed them buckets and stuff and that lid too. All right, there's the borax. Boom, boom, bam. We talking $2.48, folks. My God, that's the bucket. I'm tweaking. All right, the borax 20 mil. That's $5.97. Boom, boom, bam. Arm and Hammer. Boom, boom. $4.99. Oh, what? Phelps naphtha. Boom, boom, bam. $1.79.8. Dang, my eye is tweaking. Like, turn that 8 into a 9. I just rounded it up. All right, I'm acting silly. But, oh yeah. And then my Dr. Bronner's, you get that bar soap cheap as hell. But at Walmart, you get this big liquid soap. This whole big thing was only like 15 bucks and it'll last you. I use it in homemade little concoctions I make in the garden to control pests and stuff without, being bad for the other insects and animals and stuff. And it's natural. I'll talk about that more later. Hell, we're talking about laundry soap, not my natural bug repellents and, something to get rid of them. But anyway, you see how cheap that is, man. I got a whole 5-gallon bucket full, guys, and I only used 1 cup of the Castile soap, 1 cup of borax, 1 cup of this here washing soda, So I only used a fraction of each one of these ingredients that was already cheap. So you imagine, if I was to make all of these work, we'd have, boy, more than a 55-gallon drum, boy. That you'll probably be able to do the laundry for the rest of your damn life for a long time. So let's see how good it works. I know one thing, man. My hands feel cleaner than they've been since I was a little kid. Oh my God. Unless you take one of those like 45-minute baths like when you were a kid and you get out and you're so damn clean, you be squeaking. All right, I'm done acting stupid now, folks. Hey, if you're interested, man, give it a try. There ain't nothing to it. I just did it. So I say, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. But you already seen me did it, so it's done.